Delija didn't waste any time there, getting immediately across the ring or the cage. Prasel, we will not strike. I assure you, in this place. We will attempt to seize this man to the floor. I'd like a leg. Hedisires to go home tonight. Delija landed a nice knee there. After 25 seconds of combat, the referees, I'm shouting, "Action, Frank! How much more activity do you truly have?" But what do you want in this corner? There are 2 double beneath hooks, lifting as well as hurling the knee. Throwing and lifting the knee when the body descends. The referee wants to get involved. Frank's putting a lot of effort into that position until it was just overtaken. He's clinging to it. He doesn't seem to want to hit. He wishes to resolve this conflict to the earth with good reason. In other words, lets you look at his record, He's obtained 9 wins, 8 or submissions after a knockout. How did he get that KO? Was it by chance that he was attempting to take someone down? You understand. Additionally, those are the items you must take a peek. It's clear that he wants this battle on the ground as soon as possible. As much as possible. And after you've found a man, you can be certain that's your Crocop buddy, that will soon be released with precise and forceful blows. You must exercise caution at all times. Here, add some bounce to the step, attempting to time the strike's entry. And in reality, PL is tossing the right kick. Thus, a lovely combination was thrown. Delija was there. They went to the ground. Proceed. Prasel, however, wants it here. Frank wanted to choke someone in the front, the path through. I didn't see it. Krov has nothing but praise for Ante Delija. He simply gave us a harsh explanation. This is heavyweight's future. He claims that he will be a champion within a span of 2 years. Yes, it will take some time, he admits, but you will see. Basically, this unadulterated aggressiveness, unadulterated abilities, undeveloped talent, and they've been gradually refining him in Croatia. For the first time, Merkel managed to take it. Select a person from the starting and carrying him through to the end. Take him from the very beginning. Fundamentals. Give him everything again. Because due to his leg injury, he was unable to lot. He needed to become familiar with the brand .fresh. After his leg recovered, he was able to return to training in its entirety. However, he had previously modified his training regimen and trained in the areas of his expertise due to Kirchhoff's statement that no, we will begin over with basic crosses and jabs, as well as learning how to things correctly. Changed him up suddenly. It was time for him in order for him to resume fighting and work at it full time. Is already much ahead of the curve due to that time is over for him. He moved at that speed, then looked at the slowing accuracy, at everything. Well done, Prasel, on the sweep. An additional rushing to take a position. Delija makes it through but uses a 1-2 to make pay. Oh, there, uppercut. Delija entering for the finish there. It will take 2 minutes to get here. First round. Being in this situation is difficult because Dia is aware of how hurt he is. However, Toe approach him closely enough to bind him up. He doesn't want to be with Prasel, because Prasel now has an opportunity to get better. He is brought to the corner. The referee calls for action. Frankie says fight now, simply does not desire it. I mean, it must annoy Priscilla that he's backing up there. He has already received his put your hands up there. The body's open, awaiting the delivery of the blows. Heliups in, unable to obtain the takedown. Leaps back down to protect. That's actually his takedown tactic. In fact, he's stepping in and understanding, saying he'll put a guard on him. This serves as a resting area for him, although it's not the best approach. When you've someone with as much ground pound, as you really do get on top of, Delija don't wish to sleep under his watch. You shouldn't let your guard down. Yes, it will be here in less than a minute first round. Delija needs to use caution to avoid leaving his limbs splayed, particularly when he's arranging the pound and grind. We are discussing there are 2 tall guys with longer limbs than usual, and it might be simple to seize and ensnare them. Additionally, Prasel earlier, he searched for the leg lock and missed it, but all he had to do was a single minor positional change. He would have managed to capture that leg lock. Thus, he's searching for it once more. He's beginning to beneath the hook. He is beginning to reach for it. You observe her posing, gaining weight, putting up a show, and delivering those blows. Music. Go here in 25 seconds. First round set for 3 o'clock. Get up in 10 heavyweight class, displaying some worldwide heavyweight prowess. Delija made a good pass there. Prasel attempting to get better. Delija had a fantastic pass, but did not actually take any action with it. He didn't ever bend over or moved his hip forward. It made it really simple for PC to obtain. He's back on top. Music. The first round is over. Frank Delija strolled past his corner. Of course, we're not going to score it round by in Japan, but he's in the lead in this battle at the moment, definitely. Additionally, if I'm in Delija's corner, I'm saying to him, continue, continue. The next time you don't assault, don't damage him. Maintain aspiration, give him a few jabs. Give him a few shots of pepper. Get him to make this error in attempting to shoot. And I am aware that he is beginning to shoot all when he's having problems. That's when I want you to toss, please, these knees. If Prasel is on my side, I'm saying to him, look, you have to. You must quit attempting to pull guard. You must force him to attack you using punches and defeat him without causing any damage so you finish first. The pulling guard has not been employed by you. You find yourself on your back being battered the whole time. A pleasant slow-motion video of a fun time jab 1-2 combo hurled by Paris was just getting up when Delija appeared. He's missing a bunch of these. Wow, punches. A portion of this due to Prasel's. He's pushing his head to counterbalance him. He is pushing his body to the side. As a result, he's truly doing good with his justification of that position, but it still doesn't appear suitable for juggies. Seconds out for the blue corner. That Fight Club game, by the way, is quite popular in Japan. It's insane. I know it can be found anywhere. Music. Half of the men were playing it, on the res. Oh, trying to spin back there by Prasel. Delija leaves, and then, boom. Tosses on the right. They are now in a tight spot. And the referee Frank is in there already. All right, let's dissect it now. I don't hold him responsible for anything. Regardless, it's exhausting to fight. Here in Japan, the referee says, hey, be mindful of those knees. The hand fighting is this. You are aware of this. Well, in order to leave the area, a good throw with 3 punches, huh? By Del engaging in some physical activity in this place. Gorgeous blows being delivered in this place. Things about Thunder remind me of TK and Miracle Crocop during the most recent battle on New Year's Eve. Merely attempting to obtain that pierce through there. Leave there. Julia must get herself back out of. It is necessary to sit upright. Obtain all the way out. Make him return to his feet once more. That is Prasel's location, going through his most difficult period. The only advantage of Prasel being down is this, in this place. Enables him to continue fighting. He won't prevail in this battle, but permits him to remain in the battle. He clearly adores this. Surrender game he must set if he wants a leg. Was done in a totally different way. Correct, he's just trying to live right. Now, make an effort to keep the head down. Seeking to obtain the hands. Goodness. There were 4 blats thrown. There is a triangle attempter. Attempting to reach for the arm. Not at all. PCEL is currently lowering his defenses, simply unrelenting. Those lefts will arrive, hard, and now searching for the triangular in this instance. He had a wrist, authority there. There isn't a head rabbit. The referee says, I don't believe it was deliberate. It makes me think of the struggle between Goy and Gachi. Yes, two Goy's headbutts. No, Goy responded. He had them on his shoulder. Yes. No, they weren't. No, Goy is amazing. I possess tales of Yachi and Goy following the battle. I'll let you know when Yusuke's bout is scheduled. A little later this evening in Horizon 10. What a wonderful blood. He's amusing, I see. I'm really glad to be here. He simply content to wait in line. Whoa. Well done on the sneaky elbow. There's blood coming there. Someone's Frank. You're bleeding there. Those elbows seem to be getting in. There. I wanted to say something regarding the manner in which Prasel is tossing that elbow on the right. Will it actually result in any harm? Well, the solution is available. As you typically wish to use a portion of either the elbow or the lat, to throw that Michael Bisping's method of throwing it at George Pierre. The manner in which he tosses it inside, normally the bone shouldn't work, but Prasel was cut quite plainly. Indeed, he's weight. It's so awful that you can't tell. It appears to be horrible simply because it requires mental effort. You never are quite certain, and blood is all over the place due to their contact with one another. It can grow, worse as you reach the corners, but it may be a tiny bit cut. Not really important. However, we return to it. I'm reminding everyone that the judges, all of them, the blood is visible. They just see that. Thus, they are aware of the person causing harm. Prasel, however, is causing harm from the bottom. You know, can he maintain winning the battle now since he's on throwing to win from the bottom? These elbows, it will be here in 20 minutes. The referee obviously enjoys this activity a lot, more since it's harmful at the bottom. Prasel is doing harm. Mont is at the top, just doing what? Delivering those blows and getting the big shots can alter a fight's dynamics. Really fast. Yes. A punch or two lands firmly, and in order to enter the proper posture, the entire battle can end in 2 or 3 extra blows due to the manner in which they pass through. Regretfully, Prasel, despite the fact that his elbows are cutting, and he's not able to never give up the battle till he can capture a submission. However, those elbows will enable you to detect a submission because you will now be concerned with, oh no, I don't want to bump into anyone else. Allow me to hold my head in an odd position. This enables you to access things today. Otherwise, you shocked Delija by remaining in this role. In fact, I am. He has a chance to stand again. Just a few moments ago, he managed to get back up. He simply passed back after the half dot out once more. Cell has no idea. Jelly is unsure what he's doing on the ground at the moment. He has half, as you can see. He only needs to slide his left knee and his knee, side by the hip and knee up. He's in a place where he can complete this battle since he will pin him down. However, he didn't. He is stepping, entering, and exiting. He's slipping in and slipping out of it. Go here in 10 seconds. Boys, I'm calling for action. Whoa. Fantastic work. Fantastic work, Delija. On top, but not sufficiently nice to halt herself before she cuts him. Now, the question is, what do the judges think? See? What will they do to rue that? We give it to Delija, of course, since he had the upper hand the entire time. Even despite getting cut, he continued to do more harm from above. Thus, many of those punches were being delivered, particularly this combination of 3 and 4 punches that this is where he threw. These punches passed through. That was brutal. That is to say, this was this dot combination of 5 and 6 punches. I believed it to be only 4 punches, but they wind up being 6. That's brutal ground and pound indeed. Frank, that's battling until the end, correct? That is what you're attempting to. Your goal is to outshine your opponent. You're attempting to harm him. You're attempting to alter the fights taking place. That's the elbow over there. Cutia, probably. It doesn't seem like much, you know. Indeed, it was. It doesn't appear to be lot. It's not a concussion that ends a battle. Blow in and of itself, but also take a look at that. Whoa! That is painful. It's a stunning picture to the body. There's a floating rib. The camera crew did a fantastic job capturing that shot. That was incredible. Can a cut end a fight now? Indeed. Of course. However, is it actually a concussive blow? Similar to what Delija threw? No. Music. They are essentially each in their own right. Corner reaching out and making contact gloves. Their reach is that long are absolutely true. The leg kick is about to begin. It appears that Delija seems to be attempting to initiate something up there. No, an effort was made there by Prasel to put an end to this battle on the ground. Delija nearly seems to admit it. Frank concedes. We are welcome to remain here. He's winning for him, but is not required to alter anything. Make a poor shot. You don't have to protect me. I simply must keep my hands completely in or all the way out. Take a seat. Hold on to striking. I will prevail in this battle. But he placed himself in a situation. I don't understand what his corner is considering saying him as though you must order him to stop because you're not going to win the fight from here. The sole method you can now win this battle. You're not winning the stand-up. You're not able to can't start at the bottom and win. Thus, only you can triumph now is gaining the upper hand. Thus, you must figure out how to get over him. This is an attempt at the armbar. Delija is attempting to remove his right elbow. He is now ascending beside the guard, searching for a triangle. You observed previously, I would estimate roughly 30 seconds. Perhaps 40 seconds ago, Cecil was attempting to grasp Delija's wrist in order to try that triangle choke. Delija tugged out and simply delivered some pleasant blows. Ref is cautioning. Delija once more regarding headbutt. However, he's simply the one who takes the lead with his head. When he enters, he justices his face to lead, which is a rather normal response formo for the majority of us. We just dive right in. Start with our faces. You see it once again. He's got his head beneath the chine and he perceives that the hips are square. Frank, when he reappears, and what I appreciate about him is what I learned from Neil Manson back in the day, and I continue to concentrate on, you have two catch wrestling black belts options. Either completely in or completely out the exit. So, chin, all the way in your head is beneath beneath his chin. Your head is midway over his chest. You use your elbows to pin him in. You're all the way inside. If you're completely out, sitting upright, and you're hitting them. When you are ensnared in, you're going to get there in the middle. Hovering in is how you submit that intermediate area. Additionally, each time that Delija finds the middle ground, Prasel attempts to submit, but instantly sits upright, receives all the way out. Thus, nothing there to catch hold of. Additionally, of course, we are now discussing perspiration, and it occurs later in the battle. You understand, these are more difficult to obtain items. However, the longer this battle continues on, the better off Delija is. It's less likely to be able to obtain a submission on. Additionally, you brought up Neil Manson. Speaking of tall and long-reaching men. Yes, I'm serious. She recently turned 41, even yesterday. Neil, happy birthday. Neil, happy birthday. I appreciate you dropping Frank off here. I left him with me in Japan. I'll take him safely home. We're doing fine. You're not interested in keeping me? He dumped me off for that reason. He didn't wish to retain me as well. Once more, Delija is at ease here. Frank, as you said, he's got his head under control. Prasel tries to maintain the stance. He must maintain the stance else, start playing the hand game. He needs to take some action. Prasel is in this role. Look, he's not hand combat at all. He's getting knees. In the path. He's getting room. He has room to move now, but he isn't. He's sticking his legs in there, you see, and attempting to like him now, but he's made a slight attempt to sit up, but that is the purpose of the space for the bottom man. You are attempting to obtain space, so you can move around, but he would have room, and simply lay there. He had no intention of taking any action. Therefore, I say to Delija, yeah, I have several cuts. My head side is sliced. My face's foot is cut from such elbows, but I'm obviously winning. This battle, so why should I alter? Much about my position? I don't have to, indeed. Yes, he is using his head to lead, once more. That right there was a classic crow cop prolonged punch. Prolonged blow followed by after 2 or 3 defend yourself punches. Or are my eyes playing tricks on us, Frank? No, your eyes aren't playing tricks. You. There I noticed the Croatian flag. Not at all. Music. A little more than a minute to get here. No, Frank's seeing a lot of things that will put an end to this battle. However, these kinds of heavyweight division punches, they're exerting a lot of force. You are able to observe a shift. If this was something occurring at the welterweight or considering bantamweight, we would consider ourselves, all right, so what? This is unable to put an end to the conflict. Anything can occur at a high weight. Yes. You know what? The referee says, let's go, guys. With less than a minute remaining, takedown try again. Will Delija give in? Not at all. This time, he refused to give in. That was a nice knee landing. Ricardo Prasel's time is under 40 seconds. To grip his leg if he desires toit. Obtains a Pel's Nook. I'll just tell him to leave. You has nothing to lose right now because you will not prevail. Simply leave. Oh, do you find that surprising? No, not at all. I'm shocked that I simply, but scooped up, tossed him down. Just so you know, women and guys, he didn't pick up a middleweight heavyweight throw. Laughs landed there in an attempt to block out this altercation here. Delija, who by all means estimates Frank Trigg ought to surface triumphant in his first bout here. Oh yes, Ryzen's record is expected to improve. 5-3. We're not judges. We don't understand how they will win this battle, but based on reports, one might supposing that he wins, and Ricardo Prasel might experience his first loss in mixed martial arts. It would be an outright theft if whether they give Prasel this call or they don't even call it a fight. However, it cannot be avoided. This must be a win for Delija simply because did he cause more harm? He did possess further take action. He was more in control. Hemmer effectively managed the fight's tempo. And to sum it up at the very end, particularly while you're observing he stamped it on the contest as a whole. Hey, see, I'm gonna take one of those you down. I'll come get you. I meant someone who isn't a ground guy. You're the guy on the ground, but I'll remove the takedown. I'll choose you get up and go. Despite the fact that you 17 attempts to take me down were unsuccessful. 7 times in total. Pick up. Empty. Have failed to investigate it as he ought to have possess. He ought to have intercepted a pass. However, you must still give him credit. She went there to eliminate the man without hardly a problem. Okay. The combatants have returned to the ring center. Scorecards for the judges have been gathered. There will be an official announcement shortly. Claps, he's there. The apprentice of Marco Krokop. He, Frank Trigg, and I were informed during the new events of 2017's Year's Eve with AIA in the background hymn. We believed it to be his bodyguard. We now needed to determine that it was a training partner of his in Miracle Express. Give him some time. You'll recognize that this man will be a champion. We've heard it already with numerous organizations. It can occasionally take time for combatants to become accustomed to dueling on the large stage. I'm curious to find out what I'm going to do it now. I mean, he achieved a significant triumph onto a large stage in front of a large crowd. Of course, when you got with Krokop as your instructor, you'll eventually fighting on a show on New Year's Eve. Thus, I'm rather certain that we will see him this year on New Year's Eve. Additionally, what is a testament in this case? Ryzen. Should he find himself on the big New Year's, how does he perform in that Battle Eve show? What is his performance that evening? Due to all of the pressure is going there, to be on you. This card is the largest of Ryzen's year. It's always. Each and every battle is brought and placed to be gathered together in order to have a lot of activity, and he's moving to need to assemble it at that time. Thus, that's the last thing we need to be concerned about, roughly. All right, what will he do now in that role? We are aware that he cannot. He had a strong submission defense. Can he submit, and does he knock men out them? We must wait and find out. Music claps. He is only 27 years old. You understand he's not particularly young, yet he's still in youth.